चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 का होगा। 80% समर्थन एक तरफ होगा, 20% दूसरी तरफ होगा।
ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे।
50ರಿಂದ 55,000 ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನಮಗದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬೇಡ, ನಾನು ನೇರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
इसलिए लव जिहाद करने वालों को लव जिहाद जैसा उत्तर दो.
What you heard right now can be classified under only one thing: hate speech.
नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी, देश को चौकीदार की जरूरत है। अच्छे दिन।
Hello people, my name is Kora Abraham and this is the third episode of our election series, the Modi Report Card. Now while I bring you the government's report card, remember my report card is in your hands. So if you like my work and want me to continue raising your issues, do subscribe to the TNM right now and support my work. Let us first understand what constitutes hate speech. According to the United Nations, any form of communication which attacks or uses discriminatory language with respect to a person's nationality, race, ethnicity, and color can be termed as hate speech. So does Modi's speech fall under the bracket of hate speech? You decide.
ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे।
Why is everybody getting so worked up about this? Can't we just ignore and move on? No, we cannot. Because history shows us that hate speech was often the precursor for atrocity crimes against minorities, including genocide. As the phrase goes, the Holocaust did not start with the gas chambers, but with hate speech against minorities. That's right. The Nazi regime in Germany did come up with laws and regulations which shut down the country's independent media. It then came up with state-controlled media which promoted hate speech, racist stereotypes, disinformation, and lies. This in turn incited mob atrocities against the Jews in Germany. And now to the main question. Has hate speech grown under the Narendra Modi government? Yes, it has. This was confirmed by a hate speech report put out by the India Hate Lab, which is a think tank based in Washington DC. Now before you all start saying, oh, international conspiracy and all, let me remind you that think tanks cannot make up speeches. In 2023 alone, the India Hate Lab recorded a total of 668 events of hate speech targeting the Muslim community. The first half of the year witnessed 255 events. It increased by a massive 62% in the second half with 413 events. 498 of the total hate speeches, or 75% of them, were made in, surprise, surprise, BJP ruled states. Out of the top 8 states which witnessed the maximum number of hate speeches, 6 of them belong to BJP ruled states, and they were Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Uttarakhand, and Gujarat. The title for the top contributor of hate speeches went to the RSS affiliated Vishwa Hindu Parishad, which were responsible for making almost 32% of the hate speeches. Overall, 50% of the organizations which were responsible for making hate speeches were linked to the RSS. And guess what? BJP leaders were directly involved in making hate speeches in almost 100 events. In 2023, the Association for Democratic Reforms looked into the election affidavits of 763 sitting MPs and over 4,000 MLAs. It was found that 33 of the MPs had cases of hate speech against them, out of which 22 belonged to the BJP. There were 2 from the Congress and 1 each from these political parties: the Aam Aadmi Party, the AIMIM, AIUDF, DMK, PMK, MDMK, Shiv Sena, and VCK. The most infamous person when it comes to hate speeches is Hyderabad BJP MLA T. Raja Singh. The India Hate Lab report recorded 23 events of hate speeches made by T. Raja Singh in 2023 alone, out of which 14 of them were direct calls for violence against Muslims. The News Minute has actually looked at Raja Singh very carefully. In September 2022, TNM's Paul Woman filed a story that said that almost 100 criminal cases are filed against Raja Singh. And guess what? There has only been one conviction so far. Now, before I get into how Raja Singh and the others escaped, I wanted to share something with you. A lot of my friends keep asking me why I'm a journalist, and I tell them it's because I get to share these stories with you. And this is only possible because of your support. So become a paid subscriber of the TNM right now. Now coming back, in 2016, Raja Singh warned Muslims against slaughtering cows and threatened that if they do so, they would also be slaughtered the same way. 5 years later, he was acquitted in this case. Why? Because the police failed to follow the procedures. Now, India has quite a few laws to deal with hate speech. There is section 153A of the Indian Penal Code, which is punishment for promoting enmity between different religious and caste groups. There is section 295A of the IPC, which is punishment for outraging religious feelings. And if hate speech is made by people's representative, there are laws to deal with that as well. Section 123 clause 3 of the Representation of People's Act says that a candidate making appeals to vote based on identity such as religion or nationality is a corrupt electoral practice. Section 8A of the same act says that a person who is found guilty for corrupt electoral practice can be disqualified from contesting elections for a period of 6 years. They can also be disqualified from casting their votes for 6 years. But despite these laws, there are hardly any arrests or convictions. Samajwadi Party leader and MLA Azam Khan was arrested and convicted in July 2023 for calling Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath a murderer. Azam Khan is probably one of the very few elected representatives to be convicted for hate speech. Assam Congress MLA Aftabuddin Molla was arrested in November 2023 for making hate speech against Hindu priests. Raja Singh was also arrested a couple of times, and even former Kerala MLA PC George was arrested for a brief period for making hate speech against Muslims. So one thing is pretty clear. Hate speech is on the rise and it peaks during the time of elections. And hardly anyone, and I mean anyone, is taken to task. According to India Hate Lab, around 63% of the hate speeches were made on conspiracy theories such as land jihad, love jihad, population jihad, biryani jihad, etc. etc. You get the drift, right? Basically adding anything jihad to anything that involves Muslim. Even more concerning is that 36% of these hate speeches call for violence against Muslims, like this one here. A large number of these hate speeches targeted places of worship of minorities. The impact that these speeches have on the human psyche can be very dangerous, to say the least. Speeches like these are enough to promote violence against minority communities, particularly the Muslims in India. And data proves this. An India Spent report in 2017 said that 97% of the cow vigilante attacks that took place between 2010 and 2017 occurred after the Modi government came to power in 2014. A Human Rights Watch report in 2019 said that around 44 people, including 36 Muslims, were killed between May 2015 and December 2018 in such attacks. Now, while there are laws to curb hate speech in the country, what can be done when these crimes are being facilitated by the state?
This election season, your right to choose puts you at the heart of it again.
We'd like to be your eyes and ears.
Choose the journalism and media that serves democracy and you.
Simply log on to newslaundry.com/2024 election fund and choose an amount of your choice for the reports of your choice.